Roomtone Podcast is a show produced by us, three movie nerds shooting the shit while talking about shooting the shit.
Each episode builds upon the last, so we recommend starting at the beginning.
Now, let's make a movie.
Welcome back to the Roomtone Podcast, the show where we make a movie. Gahoik! We've been working on storyboards and having a time.
Times have been had. Off podcast, we have been working on scenes 2, 3, and 4. We decided to work on them separately, and now we're coming together to present kind of our idea of what this scene is going to look like. And then the other two will judge and kind of see if we align our
Judge is the right word.
Judge is the right word, yeah.
We're here for pain. We're here for blood.
Just because you're judging something doesn't mean you're judging it harshly.
That's very true.
No,
it's not saying it's not good. It's just saying like this is how we kind of all collectively think.
Yeah, because this is the first time that we've seen each other's storyboards, so it'll be a little bit of a presentation for us and for you.
Yeah.
Whoopee.
Should we start with scene 2?
Let's start with pause.
For Roomtone. My name is Maddie, and my movie/TV show recommendation of the week is Good Omens, everyone.
Yeah, round 2.
Did I already do that?
I think so.
Damn it!
I was like, I'm pretty sure we already said that. You said that one.
Fuck.
Still recommend it.
Well,
fine.
I still recommend Good Omens, people. Get to it.
Well, hold on. I think you can recommend another.
I can recommend Stage.
Yeah.
You're right. My name... We'll probably keep
Just
that in
keep
because
that
it was
in.
funny.
yeah, roll with it.
Yeah.
My name is Maddie, and my TV show recommendation of the week is a BBC show titled Staged. It features David Tennant and Michael Sheen, and they play themselves, and it is super weird and funny.
Yes.
So if you have access to a BritBox subscription, all of our listeners in America, check it out, because it's funny as hell.
Yeah, find a way to watch it. It's worth it. If you're into this show,
You would, yeah.
you'd be into that show.
Yeah.
Because it's such a...
Just clarifying the show, Good Omens. If you're into Good Omens, you're into, right? Is that
No,
what
if
you're
you're into
Staged.
Roomtone,
Oh, I see.
Oh,
if you're
yes,
into
if you're
Roomtone,
into
you'd be
Roomtone.
into Stage. Because it's
Right.
like such a weird meta commentary on the film industry.
Yes,
yeah.
definitely. And you can actually watch the first episode just on YouTube for free. So
Nice.
And if you don't like this podcast, you will probably still like Staged because it's good
better
content.
than yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
No, Staged is great. If you like bromances for the ages and COVID, you'll love it.
Love COVID.
Just like COVID as a time period.
Yeah, it was a weird era.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved it. That was the best.
Yeah.
My name is Austin Rapezza. I'm an amateur filmmaker, and my movie/TV show recommendation for the week is Survivor.
Fuck yeah.
Maddie and Swain have told Morgan and I to watch it. And I gotta say, it's great trash TV.
Hey.
It's trash TV. It's total
It's
trash
reality
TV.
It's
TV.
reality.
That's trash TV.
That's
I
broad.
feel like
hold on.
there is a difference.
Here's the thing. I truly believe all reality TV is trash TV, but it's still enjoyable.
How do you
It's fun to
define
watch.
Yeah,
trash
I'm
TV?
looking up trash TV as a description.
Like TV that's like there's like no like it's just like people like playing it up for the cameras and like insinuating drama when like things aren't necessarily dramatic, but you still like it.
Interesting.
You're still
okay.
for it.
Sure.
Yeah.
I guess I've never really thought about like my definition of trash TV. I'm curious the internet.
So the internet's best examples of trash TV are Catfish, Say Yes to the Dress, and The Bachelor.
I would assume that that's kind of in the same realm. It's like a game. It's like a game challenge thing. People are really extreme on it, and like
Yeah, but like that's like saying American Ninja Warrior is trash TV.
kind of is.
I mean, yeah.
That's okay.
It kind
would
of
you
is.
say
Yeah,
that?
there we go. Like, yeah. Like it's fun.
See, I guess you're looking at it at a much broader spectrum than I am. Like, I think of
Right.
trash TV as being like the biggest umbrella, and Survivor being like in a different quadrant than like
Keeping up with the Kardashians.
the Kardashians and The Bachelor and that
Yeah.
shit, you know, because it's like actually like fucking hard and like hardcore.
Oh, I'm not saying it's not hardcore,
Right.
like, but I guess I'm just saying like
I feel like that
it's-
elevates the trashiness. Don't you think? Like
That
like
hard-
elevates it out of trashiness.
no.
Do you agree with me?
Oh,
Or
yeah.
no? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's just like my stand. I don't know. It's when there's like a camera and they're doing like the interviews outside of the scene. Like to me, that's trash TV. That's like a good sign of trash TV.
That's just reality
Isn't
TV.
that just reality TV shows?
All reality TV is trash TV.
All right, taking
they're
hard
synonymous?
stances here. I would like to say that Austin's views do not represent those of the Room Tone podcast.
Let me also say though, like that's just like a category. That's just like the
Right.
category I'm putting it. It's like a popcorn film. Like you know.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, one of my favorite ways to watch to watch Survivor is just to like yell at the TV and make fun of the people making dumb decisions.
Totally.
So for that reason, I'll agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think trash TV as a term gets a bad rap because it has the word trash, which is
Yeah.
like, what is the word? Like a conjunctive?
Connotation.
A connotation. It has a negative connotation to it, whereas it's more of just like trashy TV, you know?
I will give it the category recycled TV.
Thank you.
There we go.
That feels
Right
better.
on. Yeah, because
But
that's
so
greener.
yes, exactly. But so you love it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we've been watching it a lot.
Fuck yeah.
We're already at the season finale.
Fuck yeah.
So yeah, go watch Survivor, kids.
My name is Austin Swain. I'm an animator and video production specialist, and it's time for another round of Swain's totally untested terrible life tips.
Just the tip.
Just.
All right, let's hear it, Swain.
Guys, are you like me? Do you just never have enough time in your morning routine? Think you don't have time to brush your teeth? Combine it with breakfast. Smear toothpaste on your toast.
What a horrible
You're doing-
texture that feels like in my mouth.
You're doing a good job at the terrible tips thing.
They truly are terrible.
That's how would you do it, Swain?
Just thick.
As the tip master, would you like do it on like the crust and like do that, or would you like?
No, you know how you use jelly?
Yeah.
That's
Toothpaste.
Ooh.
Just smear it on thick,
That would
and then
be
while
terrible.
you're chewing the crunchy toast, it'll just brush all your teethies.
That's kind of fair though, you know, because like you're getting toast stuck. On
Oh,
your
I
teeth.
know. That's why it's a life tip.
That makes sense.
Go out and try it today at your breakfast table.
No, don't do that, guys. That's-
yeah, yucky. That makes my mouth feel super gross.
Scan the Queasy code now. Well, guys, today I think we're gonna jump right into it. We've got a lot. Dive on in. I don't know if we've ever actually pointed out what that reference is, so we're just.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Dive on in.
Griffin knew it.
Oh hell yeah! What? Yeah, like Austin said at the beginning, we have 2.5 scenes storyboarded that each of us worked on individually and are going to be able to kind of present to the group right now. And so if you're watching on YouTube or you're listening on Spotify, you will have a video podcast where you can see the storyboards right alongside us and take a look and visually take in our story.
Visually take it in. Visually take it in.
So we'll start with Maddie. You did scene 2.
Huzzah! I did.
Yeah, Maddie, you did yours. You're too cool for digital tools,
Yeah.
and you did yours in pencil, or you did yours hand drawn.
Yeah, pen and paper, baby.
Hell yeah! So I scanned these in this morning, so it's a little rough and ready, but we get the idea.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you guys will get it for sure.
If you'd like to follow along at home with the script, there's a link in the description to our link tree, and you can find our production documents, the full screenplay, the full screenplay and these storyboards that we're presenting to each other now. So feel free to follow along. We're going to be looking at scene 2 first.
Scene 2, a caterer. So this one is kind of like the intro to the house and to what the film is going to be, I feel like. So I started us off. We've got a nice, like, my perspective is off, but like I was imagining it from like the back of her knees height.
Okay.
Up at the house, so it's like up from her at an angle, so it's like looming over her, you know?
Totally.
And obviously it all comes down to like what kind of house we can find, but like I imagine it just like at an angle that makes it very like daunting feeling and her look very small in front of it.
Love it.
So that's kind of that first shot. And then we kind of switch over to like her looking down at the slip of paper that she has with the information on it. So I kind of thought to bridge from that, from the big like opening shot, we could zoom in on her and have her like framed up in the middle with the house like perfectly symmetrical in front of her. And then from there go into looking down at the list versus like going from just the house to down at the list in her hands, you know?
Yeah, I like that. I especially like that on shot 2, if we like come in, you know, if you kind of cut in on an action where maybe she's like looking, where maybe she's looking back and forth.
Yeah.
And just kind of like checking her surroundings.
Yeah.
Kind of get that moment, and then she looks down and we come into the note. I like that.
Yeah. And I feel like it just gives another opportunity to maybe like make the house feel even more impressive or more daunting. I feel like doing something, I don't know. What do you think?
I like that. I like the sequence. I agree with Swain. Kind of an insert, and let me know how you guys feel. What if like we did like a shot similar to shot number 2, but she kind of like looks back at camera, kind of like she's questioning whether to go forward, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, like this is over her shoulder.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, it adds to the fear a little bit, and it kind of shows. I mean, you get to see more of her, which is nice.
I honestly thought that I had drawn in like her like arrows to like show that she's looking back and forth, because that's what we put in the script is like her looking over her shoulder.
Yeah.
And yeah, like.
Oh yeah, I think that's actually, we have that in the script just after she looks at the slip of paper, before she knocks.
Right. So yeah, like a missing shot between like 3 and 4 of her like looking back.
Yeah, I like
same
that.
composition, but
Yeah.
that's fair.
Yeah.
I see that.
If we look at shot 3 for the description, I did make a bit of a note how we'd kind of talked about her having the business card with, if it's, you know, Zoe and other name, and that name is crossed out, and like that business card is what the address is written on. I'd kind of jotted that into the description because I still really like that idea, if you guys are on board with that. I think that's a really just clean way to bring in more of that story.
Did you see that I started to write bag and then realized why the fuck was I writing bag for the street name? So I just squiggled it all out.
1, 2, 3, 4 Bag Street.
Yeah. And my shitty hand. But that one, yeah. I like, my favorite part about this shot is like her feet underneath. Like I feel like doing like a total like POV shot.
That'd be cute.
Would be kind of a fun like snap away from the super wide shots.
Yeah. I like that a lot. And it'd still be like a really wide angle, like kind of that goofy perspective.
Right.
But yeah, it would be different.
Oh, yeah. So I put in the notes, she looks over her shoulder and we see a wide shot of the house.
Beautiful. Yeah, heck yeah.
And then, yeah, it kind of mirrors that, but closer a little bit, if even. And then she walks up, knock, 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 then jiggle, jiggle.
Yeah. Do you still want to do, you had pitched at the beginning, like with each knock, we'd like start on a wide, and with each knock, we'd punch closer to the house.
Do the cut-ins. Yeah. I mean, I think that's still like kind of a fun idea. I feel like if everybody wants to do it, we can. But I feel like I don't know if you guys cared about it that much, so I'm not like married to it.
We did something already with the 3 jab in.
Yes.
So I guess like if that's our thing, which is fine if that's our thing.
I think we would want to pick one.
Okay.
Because that's the scene just before this is when Donnie's trying to pull the door open. We did that cut.
Yeah.
And I think we'd probably want to pick one without putting them like 10 seconds apart.
I like the idea of Zoe when she's knocking on the door, she turns around and like hops off the stoop and goes back on the sidewalk. Like, or you know what I mean? Like backs up a little bit to give like space and kind of like be presentable. And so I can imagine like her like kind of like, you know, fixing whatever her blouse or making sure her ribbon's tight, and then just a cool, just like the rambling of the door shocks her and like stuns her, and then like David's abrasiveness as he like slams open the door and it's just like shocking to her. Like that's what's like catching her like off guard, you know?
Yeah, I think that definitely goes to like show her politeness and petiteness and like further illustrate the differences between them. So yeah, we would just need like one more shot from the perspective of the door of her like kind of finishing knocking and stepping back and doing a preen.
You picture it from like the front on though, not from the back. Like she can't just take a step back from this composition and like get.
I do imagine the front on, so we can kind of see her like reaction. I guess I imagine shot reverse shot. So like, you know, we see like the door, like, you know, we see her. Sorry, cuts to her from her walking back to go lower from the stoop or to go on the sidewalk or whatever. Then, you know, cuts to her a wide shot of her like just kind of like fixing, you know, dressing up, whatever, or not dressing up, tightening things or dressing,
tightening up.
Yep, tightening up, and then like get stunned due to like David's like trying to open the door, and so like we would cut to the door like trying to like trying to be opened.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it could even just be really simple of like she finishes knocking, takes that step back and down, and I like if the camera's just totally locked and she like steps backwards and down and just like lands in like our perfectly. Like, you know, we set the shot so that she just like steps down into that, just like really, you know, however the best composition we determine is for that, and just kind of having her land and, you know, set herself up all posh. Yeah. And then the door.
Yeah.
Be fun.
Yeah. I've never thought of it that way, but I like that. I still kind of picture it from the back more though.
And I think it could be both.
Yeah.
That could
for
be
a
like,
shot, reverse shot.
Yeah.
Sure. Hell yeah. Yeah, and then I kind of pictured just like that's supposed to be her back, like at that angle.
Yep.
Just to really like showcase the like a close up on the handle moving. But if we do it the other way, we probably don't need this one necessarily.
Yeah, I like that though. Still, if you know, to just amplify the sound and the effort.
Yeah.
Kind of that close up of the doorknob could work.
That's fair. And then the door flings open. The door goes inside. That's what the arrows are pointing at.
Nice.
And it's David being pissed off. You can see his little angries. And I put too big of a D because I forgot that there are 2 characters this with a D. But yeah, like just kind of a straight on, like as symmetrical as possible. Like I picture the background behind him really dark.
Yeah.
But like just pretty much like a straight on
Totally.
symmetrical shot.
Perfect.
And then like a shot, reverse shot, flip from her perspective to his perspective looking out and see like her escape behind her that she's not going to take.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, be like from inside of the house so that you like see like the shadowy innards of the house on each side and her like the light through the middle.
Can we do something really dumb, guys?
Yes.
Probably.
Can we, so you know how you have that car in the background? Can it be a Forescape?
Sure. Wait, why?
Because escape.
Because it's her escape.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm into that.
That is good.
So prime option Ford Escape.
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think in my head that shot is pretty.
I really like the framing of that. Yeah.
Same.
And then yeah, they do that with their conversation for a little bit.
Kind of, yeah, switching between the two shots.
Yeah. And then Lonnie shows up, which I feel like she basically, like, I just picture her like stepping into frame.
Yeah.
This frame reminds me of the farmer
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Gothic century. What the fuck
American
is it?
Gothic.
American Gothic.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I love that.
And then you do that a couple times with those two. So you do like from them back to Zoe, back to them
Yeah.
for the conversation. And then at the end of like, yeah, where's the food? They both like, I picture them both just like stepping out to the side, and she's just like standing for a second with like the empty darkness of the house in front of her. And it's another moment of like, I probably shouldn't be in there. And she like looks back at her car, I picture.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like that could be kind of a whatever moment.
Yeah.
I had a question here.
Yeah.
Because in our script, we actually wrote that she leaves the front door and goes to her car and grabs the food. Zoe hesitates between going inside and going to her car. From the street, we see Zoe walk down the stairs and off camera, leaving the house to fill the frame.
Oh, yeah.
Title comes up.
That's the next one. This is her leaving.
Oh, okay, cool.
So like there's this shot closer
see.
up, and
Oh, I see.
then she does end up turning around. Like she looks back at the car, she looks forward, she like debates, and then she does like end up going back to her car.
Hell
and then
yeah.
it's a like mirrored shot of the very first shot of the house from like the lower angle.
Perfect.
That was my nice stairs where I figured out perspective.
Oh yeah, there they are. A beauty.
And then yeah, I could picture her just like walking past the camera basically, and then like the title popping up
Hell
in
yes.
a cool way, and then like a cut to black. Honestly,
Nice.
I love it.
yeah.
Beauty. Well done.
Thanks.
Well done.
Snaps.
Any other judgments?
I don't know. Get better.
Right.
Where was the dong?
Yeah.
True. Donnie isn't here yet.
I thought the title of this film was Dong, and now I don't want to make it.
Oh, that's true. Donnie shows up in scene 3.
Ooh, snap! Crack,
Everybody
pop.
strap in for this dong.
Oh, he's strapped all right.
So I, Austin Swain, had scene 3.
Cute. I love it already. So happy.
Shot 1 of scene 3 is Zoe walking daintily into the big empty house. Okay, so you're gonna see in every shot here that she's still holding the business card.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what I actually want, but I kind of just always wanted like a reason for her to look small. And just
That's
kind of
fair.
like clutching the card to her chest, like always just kind of sold that for me. So I don't know if it's necessarily that, but I think we should kind of find something.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Maybe like an old Zippo lighter.
Something to like make her look mousy.
Fuck you. So yeah,
Right?
here's
Is that like what you mean? Like
What?
something to make her look like mousy and little.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, just like, so yeah. I mean, you'll see in the other shots, just like her kind of clutching it in front of her, and it just makes her look small, especially compared to Donnie. So we were at kind of this wide shot, profile shot, so that we can see kind of the inside of the house. I included a door frame here because it's where I assume Lonnie and David have exited through. This is the scene of the tour where Zoe herself is being introduced to the house. And so a lot of my cinematography, the goal has been to like show off the house and kind of demonstrate like its decor and kind of layout and things like that. So I do kind of picture this profile kind of focusing on the room, but having her just kind of walk through frame. Like I picture this very Coraline. And like that's why I have her legs like that. Like I've always just kind of pictured this very kind of like choreographed, stilted, like mousy stumbling through this open big house.
Totally.
I think if nothing else, this is like our big storybook scene. So I really
Yeah.
tried to keep that going. Shot 2 is where she meets Donnie. So again, kind of a wide shot of like the living room or something. You know, I kind of wanted something in the foreground, just kind of creating space. And so he's left a frame, kind of completing a task. She peeks her head in on the right, and you see the little arrow there. He kind of spins around, and I wanted to just punch in on him kind of finishing that spin, landing just like dead center in the camera. I picture like kind of big bookshelves behind him or something like that. And he's just kind of wrapping up. This is where we get the line, "You must be the caterer."
What if there was a mirror behind him and you could see Zoe in the reflection?
Oh.
That'd be kind of cool.
That'd be
hard.
hard.
Yeah.
Actually, not
cool.
too bad. We'd just have to make a green screen mirror.
Right.
Maybe.
Just an idea.
If
Maybe.
with him centered, I would imagine the mirror centered, and then I would imagine him covering most of the mirror.
That's
Unless
fair.
if he's big, and then Zoe would have to be off center, and then
Right.
So it's just kind of finding things that are centered but not. And I figure we kind of potentially kind of cutting back to Zoe just to kind of show them, and she's still, you know, kind of half in the doorway, half just kind of like still trying to figure out if she's in the right place or not, just to kind of give her a chance to react to meeting Donnie. And then cutting back to him, he checks his watch. "You're 40 seconds late." And I kind of pictured this big, like, dramatic kind of like motioning past the camera. I don't know, maybe
What do you mean? Like, is he doing this?
Yeah, what is the thing?
Yeah, I'm kind of second guessing it now, because I think in my mind I wanted him to like throw up his hand and be like, "I'll give you a tour."
Okay.
Almost like kind of motioning for her to follow, or like, "Hey, this way, let's go this way. I'll give you a tour." But I wrote in this shot for him to like walk up and join her and say, "I'll give you a tour," and then turn around and leave.
Oh, I like the other one better than that.
Okay.
It could be like him like gesturing like, "All right, I'll give you the tour." As
Come
he's
on.
like walking like around like, "Let's go," kind of
Right.
hurdling the sheep.
And that would be a fun, like, kind of like trippy, like psychedelic-y shot if his hand like comes up in front of him if it's a wide shot.
Yeah, I think so. I think we can do a lot of messing around with a wide angle lens and like the distortion that comes with it. I agree. I think that's going to be a fun look for Donnie with the big hand.
Yeah, I was like, is that a giant hand or is he like waving it really fast?
I thought he was waving it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does look like an animation smear. I tried to do like, the lens distortion.
Yeah, I see it now.
And then they carry on with the tour. So they leave for the tour, and then we've got these straight on shots of him throwing open the door. "This is the kitchen." And again, kind of taking these moments to like show more of the room than the doorway, I think. And like just kind of showing like a well-placed kind of decor and layout, I think could be really fun visually. And again, just another like way to demonstrate the house. Throwing open the door, saying, "Check it out, this is the kitchen," and then quickly walking past.
Looks like he has a big ponytail or something.
Yeah,
Or
big-
mohawk.
The big D, and you see her again with the note, just kind of rushing along,
Being mousy.
scurrying. I'm realizing for reasons that will become apparent later that I think that they should actually be walking the other way, but that's neither here nor there.
Are you thinking like full body shots like that?
I am. I'm thinking. I do picture this like very wide, and just kind of seeing them boom, 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 going across camera. So I kind of picture it like our archways that kind of look into a hallway. You know, hopefully we have something like that. I mean, again, I think these shots will really just have to come down to the actual house that we get.
Right.
Unfortunately, but
I mean, yeah, and it's still a good shot even if it's from the hips up.
yeah, I think in an optimal world, I think it would be fun to see something like this because I feel like it's so rarely seen, and it lends to storybook. He throws open the next door. "This is the lavatory." Again, just kind of a thank you. I thought it was neat. I want that mirror. Yeah, just another excuse to show off a room's decor. They walk the other way. And, you know, I think there's lines here. So yeah, every time they're the lavatory, and then as they're walking, "I hope our dad's death wasn't inconvenient to you. This is the living room."
Which does make it funnier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I love like picturing this viewpoint of them marching across frame and like having those quick lines as they walk across. And then this is the living room, and then this is where Zoe. Oh, I'm happy to be here. Not happy because your dad died. Just happy to help. You know, she kind of starts there.
That's funny every time.
Yeah. And I imagine he kind of turns around and keeps walking, and she has to follow him. And then we get to another scene where, again, they're walking past camera. She's finishing her line. And this is why I think they should be walking different in the other way, because now they're walking the same way as this shot. So I think that should just be kind of flipped so that I do picture them walking this way. So they're walking, and now this is where we're first introduced to the forbidden door. So they're walking through another hallway, kind of matching that kind of same format. But as she finishes her line, he turns and stops, and we come in for a closer look. And we had kind of talked about this on one of our most recent episodes, kind of framing up the door, but having Donnie and Zoe take a spot in front of it. And kind of, this is where she kind of finishes her line.
They kind of become the foreground.
They become the foreground, and he kind of like smiles at her as she finishes her line, points, "Don't go in that door." And, you know, she kind of turns. We cut back to a wide, and he's already walking away, you know, as Donnie has been doing this whole time, just kind of go, go, go. I like then just kind of sitting on this moment of Zoe, like looking towards the door, pausing, just kind of being like, what? It's a door. Wow.
Yeah, she has to like stumble to like catch up with him.
Yeah. So then, you know, she spends a good moment here, lets him leave frame, and then we cut back to the close-up of her realizing that he's gone. She turns back, crosses the camera, and I think we sit on this frame, just sitting on that forbidden door now that Zoe's left, for as long as drama feels necessary.
Drama.
Yeah. And we really get that, hey, look at this kind of shot.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of amidst all of those kind of fast.
We could even do like a
Yeah, and then into the next scene. Yeah.
I love those.
Yeah, I like this a lot.
Fuck yeah.
Any notes, gang, that weren't already said?
No, I think what notes have been said. Maybe the only thing, and like it's very minimal, for shot 5, redraw that. Like, or not redraw, but like redraw like the hand perspective.
Oh yeah.
Fucking redraw
Yeah.
that.
Did you try getting good?
Sorry, no, it's not. It's just like being like clear and like
Yeah,
you know, you. And this goes to my shit too. If I have to redraw anything, let me know.
And get rid of number 6, right?
Yeah, we probably don't need number 6.
Maybe.
I don't know. I think we needed a shot between shot 5 and shot 7, since they're both front on.
But yeah, maybe it should be something other than him just like walking up to her, because I feel like that's just kind of awkward, and I feel like the lighting would be bad in that hallway. Like I feel like it would just look,
could be hard.
I don't know, like murky.
Yeah, it could be hard to light. But, you know, we could always tuck lights behind this wall, behind that wall.
But I feel like having them like against something dark far away from us would just like get muddy looking and like hard to look at. But
sure could. If we know, but hopefully we know enough about lighting to make it work for ourselves.
And so now we move on to scene 4. I will admit to the gang here and to you, the fellow viewers, I didn't finish. But fear not, because I will reveal the rest of this when it is finished.
Find them on OnlyFans.
I'll find it on my OnlyFans.
You have to subscribe to the rest of this video.
Yes. So, Maddie, very interesting that you said that mirror shot.
Yeah, wow.
Because I also thought of doing a mirror shot.
Isn't that fun?
Mm-hmm. So this starts off with Donnie leading Zoe into the dining room, and where we meet up with David and Lonnie, and I thought it would be very fun when they come in if we saw David and Lonnie in the mirror right over here.
Fuck yeah.
This might be a note, but we probably need to flip David and Lonnie. That'll be apparent later. But like, I think that'd be a very fun introduction shot.
I like that.
I imagine it's still. And then we cut to David and Lonnie just so we show them who's who.
Yeah.
Or what's what. So we have Lonnie and David sitting at the opposite end of the table.
A lazy Susan and a hungry David.
Oh yeah. We have Lonnie folding swans, and we have David kind of munching out on the lazy Susan.
Hell yeah.
And then we cut to the other side of the table. A little bit different perspective now. I would like the mirror to still be in frame. And instead of David on the left and Lonnie on the right, I think it should be Lonnie on the right, David on the left. So we could see Lonnie in the mirror here, and we can see her reaction as he takes a swan, unfolds it, and then folds it again.
Okay,
Totally.
I like it.
Yeah.
Great idea.
So that's where you get Lonnie's reaction shot.
Yep.
That's fun.
Great idea.
But I did still include a Lonnie reaction shot
Right on.
just in case. From when Donnie grabs the napkin, unfolds it, and refolds it, I thought it'd be fun to get a bird's eye view of kind of the folds, the beginning of it. You know, we kind of see Donnie's kind of carefulness with the napkin. Like this is very important to him.
And like how easily he does it. Like he's kind of like effortless with it.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
this is how it's supposed to be. It's perfect. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then we do get a reaction shot for shot number 5 from Lonnie looking disgusted at Donnie.
Yeah.
No bueno. And then for shot number 6, we cut back to that wide from the end of the table where Donnie and Zoe are. I kind of imagine Zoe looking timid in the background for like a majority of this scene.
Yeah.
You know, this is kind of their back and forth conversation. This is when shot 6 is when Donnie is saying, "This is my family," you know, begrudgingly.
You have "This is where dinner will be held."
Oh yes.
I mean, it's probably a same
Same thing. It's
composition.
around that time because he does introduce them right after that, I believe.
Yeah.
For shot 7, it's back to them during the introduction.
Well, this is where. So would this be where David laughs, coughing up snacks?
Oh yeah, I suppose I didn't write that down. I'm so sorry. Oh. I see. This is the shot back where Lonnie scoffs and says like "we," because Donnie says this is where we're going to be having the dinner, and Lonnie doesn't feel included. And then reverse shots back and forth between that wide and this bird's eye view. Shot number 8, we see the swan. It's folded pristinely, and Donnie reaches out to grab another.
Do you think that's necessary?
For him to...
Room.
Sorry, what?
Do we think that shot is necessary?
Which one? Shot number 8?
8.
I don't think it's like 100% necessary. I do believe it kind of gives shot number 4 a little bit more validation, I guess. Like, I feel like it pairs well because we see it not a swan, and then we come back to it a swan.
Do you think shot number 4 is necessary?
I
definitely think shot number 4 is for flavor, but I feel like it does show a little bit of his character and a little bit of like, kind of like what you're saying, how effortlessly he was able to like fold a swan, or how particular he is on how he wants it, like his way.
Sure.
Okay, my 2 thoughts are the like folding of the fabric napkin. I like because I feel like it can be kind of like ooh feeling. Like I feel like origami can be kind of like demented feeling in the way that it moves.
True.
And I feel like him putting it back down, like in front of her, it wouldn't be in that position anymore, right?
Well, he doesn't put it down in front of her. He keeps it to himself.
Yeah.
But couldn't he? Or even if he puts it down in front of himself, it's like the audience already sees it again. Or they already see it finished. Right?
For sure. I guess like this, it's definitely a flavor shot, but I think it's like, I don't know. I think it kind of like, it bridges the gap to show that he's finished.
For sure.
I guess.
Yeah.
Here's my take on it.
Mm-hmm.
I agree that I think we should show it finished. But what I think the bird's eye view does is it cuts off the emotional storytelling that we would get in Donnie and Lonnie's face, especially in the exchange of him grabbing a second swan from her.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's something that I would really like to see, is him grabbing another swan from her and again getting this like shot of her of just totally giving up, of like, okay, fuck Donnie.
Yeah.
Apparently I can't do anything around here.
Isn't that what 7 is?
7 is her frustrated and Donnie
Picking up another swan.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, in the script we have Donnie finishes the swan he was fixing and grabs another to fix. Lonnie throws up her hands in frustration.
So yeah, I would imagine that happens in that shot. Unless I'm wrong.
I'm sorry. I'm reading right here. I read Donnie grabs one of the closest swans, unfolds and reads it. This is where we'll have dinner tonight. David laughs, coughing up snacks. Lonnie continues folding her swan. Yeah, that's that shot.
7. This is shot 7.
Yeah.
Yep. And then we cut to Donnie finishing the swan he was fixing and grabs another to fix.
Yep. So that would be shot 8, and then combining that with shot 9.
See, that's what I'm saying is the next line in the script is Lonnie throws up her hands in frustration, and it's a story beat that we don't have here.
I see. So I will note that I need to include that.
And I think shot 8 could be that if we just don't make it a bird's eye shot and we make him finish and grab another swan from a view where we can see both of them and get that reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay.
Because I really like the bird's eye view shot of shot 4.
Yeah, I like it the first time a lot.
Yeah, but I like the fact that it echoes it, but I definitely do want to get like that kind of the story beat. Yeah.
Okay. I could do that. Don't mind my baby sister. She's exactly that.
Fucking baby.
She's a baby, dude.
Like you.
So this is shot 9, leaning over to Zoe, and then him saying, "This is my family." Technically, sorry, this is also not on there. It should be a back to the wide shot of David and of Donnie and Zoe.
You have that in 9, right?
Yeah, it's for shot number 10. It should be back to shot number 6. So it should be right here, because this is my family technically.
Yeah,
is the line it starts.
Okay.
Cuts to right there, and then bird's eye view of the lazy Susan.
Do you worry about a jump cut?
What do you mean?
If you go back up, if you cut from shot 9 to shot 6.
We can do lean in and lean back.
I don't understand what you're saying either.
Okay. So shot 9 is him leaning over to Zoe.
Yeah.
Is Donnie leaning over to Zoe to say, "Pardon my sister. Pardon my baby sister. She's just that, a baby." Mm-hmm. What was meant to be shot 10 was supposed to be cutting back from what shot 6 is, the wide shot.
Yeah.
Because he's continuing to fold swans. And then that's when he says the line, "This is my family," technically.
And that's all I'm asking is, it looks like a jump cut. And so I'm just curious if we're worried about that, or if we want to do that purposefully.
For sure. I mean, I guess I didn't see it as a jump cut if he's like leaning back and leaning forward, because he's still like he's going back into position.
Right. But it's the same it's like the same composition. I guess I'm wondering,
what would you like to replace it with?
Well, what I thought you were going to pitch was shot 9 where he leans towards Zoe, "Don't mind my baby sister, she's exactly that." And he continues the line, "This is my family," technically. Just we can stay on that shot potentially.
Yeah. Okay.
Or if we wanted to use 2 different shots, one of them could be from behind Donnie and Zoe, kind of looking out over the table.
Or from behind Zoe's shoulder looking at Donnie.
Yeah, right.
Or something.
Okay.
Ooh, which could be like kind of a really like spooky shot of him like, don't mind my baby sister. You know, like leaning towards.
Yeah, that would be something.
That would be a lot.
Yeah, that sounds kind of icky.
Be fun.
That'd be fun.
Cool, yeah.
Did that get figured out?
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah,
Just
I mean,
continue it from shot 9 and don't cut.
yeah, I think holding it. I also like it in a wide, but I feel like we would just have to put a shot between them.
We could just like get rid of the leaning in and he just say it out loud in the wide.
Right. Yeah, it's tough.
Because then it's kind of like him being more disrespectful.
Yeah, it's true. It definitely does exemplify that, but I like him directing it towards Zoe because that kind of works to strengthen their bond too. Yeah, so we got some options. I mean,
Yeah. Let me draw some alternative shots and we can go from there.
right on.
So then starting on cutting to the Lazy Susan, David's hand. Again, bird's eye view. David spins the Lazy Susan. I kind of imagine like cutting into from like the spinning, like starting from the spin.
Yeah.
And then it landing on Lonnie.
Yeah.
I don't know. I felt weird as I was like drawing that up, and I didn't know how like.
That's how I've always pictured it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that cut will be hard.
Yeah.
Like because I think we have the camera spins with the Lazy Susan.
Yeah.
Was like kind of the initial idea,
Mm-hmm.
and then we transition to the camera on the Lazy Susan and spins around the room to land on Lonnie.
Yeah.
And so it's like it's kind of the same, but it's like a rotational versus like a whipping across the room, so they're kind of different motions. So yeah, combining them will be a little tricky.
Do we want to discuss that right now and like how we would do that? Because I can put it in my notes to fix.
I'm thinking of it from like a post-production standpoint, because I imagine for us to have the camera spin along with the Lazy Susan, we don't actually spin the camera. We just like shoot it wide with a high enough resolution that we can crop in, stabilize on the Lazy Susan, and spin the frame in the editing bay, just like on the computer with rotation and whatnot. So I'm wondering if when we cut to the shot going to Lonnie, we maintain some of that like post-production spin to like spin into that shot so that we kind of come into that shot at an angle and finish the rotation kind of landing still in motion, and then boom, here's Lonnie. I don't know how that would work.
I bet we could just shoot the camera spinning around and then like shoot Lonnie straight on, but like swipe into it.
Yeah.
And just like put a cut there and just try to time it out. I feel like that's like that works.
Definitely. Yeah, I think that can work to land on the person from the Lazy Susan.
Right.
If we wanted to too, we could do where shot number 10 is like the wide frame of Donnie and Zoe. Yeah. And that actually is like the starting point for the Lazy Susan. So like when he says like, this is like my family, like begrudging or whatever, it starts to spin and like lands on like Lonnie from like that wide shot. Does that make sense?
It does. That sounds like a really big camera movement. If I'm picturing it the same as you, like if the camera's on the other end of the table and the Lazy Susan is its like center of rotation, would it kind of spin around the whole room?
Yes. Well, I mean, we fake it. We fake that. We don't actually spin the camera.
No, I think we should spin the camera.
Similar to what you were saying, like in After Effects, where like we just get a wide, shoot high enough resolution to crop in tight, and like that's just our starting frame, though.
Right. But if we're not bird's eye, would we still be bird's eye on the Lazy Susan?
Oh, I suppose I forgot about that.
Because we can spin the frame. We can spin the frame all day long, but it has to be motivated by something spinning in the middle. So that's why we've always been bird's eye on the Lazy Susan, so that it's spinning in the center of the frame, and the frame can spin with it.
I always saw it as the camera spinning.
Well, yeah, no,
it is the camera spinning, but we need to show the motivated movement, or else it's just a random spin.
Right. Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Is that what you're
Well, okay, we are certainly talking about two different shots.
Okay.
Okay. So there's the introduction shot. In the script, it's written as bird's eye view, David spins the Lazy Susan.
Yes.
So we've bird's eye view, camera's on top of the table looking down at the Lazy Susan, getting spun. The camera spins with the Lazy Susan, whether or not we bolt it to the table or we do it in post. The camera spins with the Lazy Susan, so now David and Lonnie are going around it like a clock.
Mm-hmm.
The next shot is the camera on the Lazy Susan being spun. So it's like the point of view of a cookie now being spun and landing on Lonnie.
Mm-hmm.
Two different shots, all one motion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I was saying earlier, is like the transition between those is going to be tricky because it's kind of two different kinds of spinning.
Yeah.
It's like a clock and it's like a merry-go-round.
It's on two different axes.
Yes.
Or we don't need the bird's eye.
Yeah, but it looks so pretty.
It looks so pretty, and that shows the motivation. Or else it's a camera spinning.
Well, yeah. I mean, we could always like...
Maybe it'll make you sick. That'd be good.
Yeah. Because, yeah, it's like you don't want to say this is Lonnie, and then we cut to a shot of David front on who reaches out with his hand and spins it. Because that's another way we could motivate it without having to like do the transition.
What if Donnie spins it?
It doesn't matter who spins it.
Well, I guess based on this, like...
Oh, I guess it kind of does.
It kind of matters.
Yeah, true. Because he could say, this is Lonnie.
This is Lonnie.
And reaches forward and spins it. Yeah, that's true.
I guess I was thinking of like a long table, though.
Right. Like, I don't imagine Donnie being able to reach it, but if it
Like
works for the same...
Yeah, he would have to like reach over, put his belly on the table.
Yeah.
Scrambles over. I want a cookie.
Yeah, gimme.
This is Lonnie.
Yeah.
Crushes all of the swans he just made.
Yeah.
So I mean, we might just have to do some tests into like
Let's do some drills.
Let's do some drills. I think that potentially the way that I pitched could work, but it might feel really fucking weird. It might feel like rolling down a hill and then standing up really fast and landing on your face.
It felt weird having you describe it.
Right.
But I'd be curious to see it. You should do it with like a squishy ball. Animate it.
Yeah, we can try some shit.
I think we should move forward.
Yeah, so then what? Then what happens?
So then we land on Lonnie. As you can see, there's a little spotlight on her. As she grabs a cookie and breaks it in half when she's introduced. I imagine that snap being like the beat cut.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Fuck it.
Fuck yeah.
Boom, cut to...
Absolutely.
So then it cuts to Lonnie in her apartment, in her dorm, wherever, on a bed.
Titties out.
Talking on the phone. Tits out. Talking on the phone. I imagine the frame, her being more on camera right and camera left is kind of a void.
Yeah.
Totally.
And then when the conversation ends, the camera will then do a slide to the right, and then it will reveal the female lover.
Oh, right on.
Yep. And she can pop up from like the slide or whatever and like fill the space.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, you got him on the wrong sides, but so the camera moves.
Yep.
I like that.
Yep.
I actually
But she would still sit up in bed, right?
Yeah, she still
yeah,
can.
I like that. Cool.
Yep. And then shot number 14, we're going back to Donnie and Zoe. This time we see a little bit more swans on the table. again, trying to transition back to the Lazy Susan. That's going to be a little bit tough. But same as before, shot starts spinning until landing on David as he grabs a piece of food. David's a little bit weird with it. He's kind of inspecting it, sniffing it, whatever, and then taking a bite.
Cuts on that.
Yep.
Do we want to? I know we kind of just had this conversation, but do we want to talk about how we get to the camera spinning for David?
We can. Because I feel like it's the same problem.
Yeah.
A little bit.
A little less, I guess, maybe.
A little bit less. I mean, yeah.
I guess I can imagine it's like, we cut into this wide shot, David and Zoe talking, and then it goes
Donnie.
from, then we cut to Lonnie without the spotlight, spinning the Lazy Susan.
Right.
And then spins it to David.
Yeah.
I can see Lonnie spinning it for sure.
I'm okay with that.
I feel like that's how I've always imagined it.
Yeah.
Consciously.
So shot number 15 then would start on Lonnie. She'd spin it, and it would land on David.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that.
So then we have cuts to David after he takes his crunch on whatever he's eating. We have him in a medium shot talking on the phone. We do get a sense that it's not private, but we don't know the extent of like how bad it is.
Right. Just kind of like a blurred public background, some murmur. Probably.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like the setup is like we're setting it up to be like, oh, David's talking about a very sensitive thing in public, and then like we fold it tenfold when we find out that he's not only in public talking about a very sensitive topic, but he's in the front of the line, holding up the line just to complain to a barista that this coffee sucks. I imagine that as just a good old wide shot.
Fuck yeah.
People in the background obviously looking like either kind of horrified of what they just heard or like
totally
pissed off. Exactly.
Yeah.
I've always pictured the coffee shop like the like restaurants that they go to in Succession.
I pictured kind of like in Barry, the like the beignets guy in season 3.
See, I think that's too like coffee shoppy. Like I picture way more like New
bougie.
York. Yeah,
okay.
like clean whites.
Yep, like
personally,
French.
what do you think?
I could see that. Yeah.
Right on.
I think very like hipster-esque, generic, or not generic, but
Like posh hipster.
yeah. That covers of course, that's the place he's going to get coffee.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Also throwing this out there, I have in the scene, or I don't have this written in the scene. I like the I do. I like the idea of like David taking a sip of his coffee every so often and just going just absolute disgust. Like,
wait, no, doesn't that ruin the surprise?
not really, because it just seems like he's kind of an asshole who got like some bad coffee. Like, I don't know. I just imagine just like.
Question: does it also work if he like is just sipping it, but then he still gets to the front and says it sucks instead of like reacting to it every time? Because then it's still like a surprise, but it makes it funnier because he's still drinking the coffee that he's gonna wait in line to fucking complain about.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that maybe like I don't want to lose that joke because it's so funny that he says it sucks.
I agree with that. Okay. I think that'd be a good way to go about it.
Hell yeah.
I don't think he's moving at all. I want to make this very clear to everyone.
Yes.
He is currently at the front of the line.
I would like to make a suggestion to that very point. What if in shot 17, after we cut to the wide, he is finishing his phone conversation. Like when he goes, fine.
Yeah.
Like that's when we are wide and we see he's still talking on the phone.
Yeah.
You get like the whole scene, and then he hangs up, slams the coffee.
Yeah.
This coffee
I can
sucks.
see that.
Yeah, I can see that.
That'll really point out, like, because in the script as written, it's like he finishes the conversation, hangs up, then we cut to the wide, and he's at the front of the line. So it's like you could say, he waited until he was at the front of the line, and that's why he hung up. So it's like really demonstrating that he's waiting until this phone conversation's done.
That's fair.
To bring up his business.
Yeah.
His business.
So then, like, as he slams again, another kind of audio cue cut. We cut to him like sipping his coffee and leaning back.
Fuck yeah.
And just kind of like smirking a little bit. And he's like, well, don't forget about you, Donnie the dickhead.
Hell yeah.
And that is currently where it stops. The next few scenes are with Donnie going to or Donnie discovering his dad dead, screaming, "Daddy!"
Which I picture exactly like the end of Shawshank Redemption.
What?
Is that what happens?
Like in the rain?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, like in the rain, like looking up to the heavens.
Yeah.
Maybe not the camera above him, but like that
Can
energy.
I tell you how I imagine it?
Please.
Yeah.
Like Step Brothers when Will Ferrell is caressing John C. Reilly, or sorry, other way around.
Yep.
And he screams, "It's the asbestos! Is what did it in here?"
Yeah, he's all wrapped up in the shower curtain. I see that. Yeah.
And that's
I think
what
those have the same energy.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Thank you. And good
Beauteous.
snaps, okay.
Nice background.
Good job, everybody.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, brother.
Oh, and then the very next part of scene 4, we already talked about on the most recent episode where we kind of have that like centered shot and the siblings rise and kind of all of those things. So cool. Yeah, we're well on our way.
Go team! We did it, chaps.
Woo!
We did it. Thank you all for joining us for
Hell yeah.
recap of these storyboards. It's been fun to work on these and share them.
Next time you'll hear the rest of scene 4. And then we'll also be exploring scenes 5, 6, and 7.
And maybe
Aw,
more.
shit.
And maybe more. Until next time, buy our merch. Please.
Yeah.
Please. We need you guys so badly. But also, if you don't want to, that's okay.
Yeah.
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 We don't
Also,
need you.
fuck you.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We're making this film whether or not you want us to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
We don't even want to. JK, it's going to be fun. Fun on the bun. All right. Thank you for listening. Pause room done.
Bye.